Hey, I'm Elizabeth, and thanks so much for joining me back on my channel where we're talking about all things health and beauty after 40. Today I'm sharing 4 of my favorite quick and easy lunches that are packed with protein. I rotate through all 4 of these lunches throughout the week, just depending on what I'm craving, but they're all equally packed with plenty of protein. They're also all balanced with fiber and some healthy fats, so they're all great balanced meals, and they're all really quick and easy to make. And a couple of them are great for packing up ahead of time whenever I need to take my lunch on the go. Now, in case you missed it, last week I posted a video with 4 quick and healthy breakfasts that are all packed with protein. So be sure and go back and watch the protein breakfast video as well if you're looking for ideas around how to get more protein at your breakfast. Also, be sure you go back and check out my video that's all about my favorite fridge and pantry staples and what I pack my kitchen with every week so that I have plenty of items on hand to make a quick and easy, healthy and balanced meal. I do tend to buy a lot of the same items at the grocery store each week, kind of my staples that I keep on hand, and I talk about all of that in my video, and you'll also see how I use those staples in my lunches in today's video. So I will be sure and drop the link to both of those videos, the breakfast and also the fridge and pantry staples, in the description below. As always, it's super important for me to share with you that I am only sharing what is working well for me. I do believe that all bodies are different, all lifestyles are different, and different things work for different people. Also, I am not a medical doctor or other medical professional, and I will always suggest that you check with your doctor or other medical professional before making any changes to your diet or exercise. All right, so just to recap a little bit, we do need plenty of protein in our diets as it's one of the major macronutrients along with fiber and fat. And our bodies really do need a good balance of all 3 in order to be healthy and to build lean muscle and for weight management, among other things. So protein helps us to build lean muscle when we do strength training. It gives us healthy hair, skin, and nails, and it even helps us to feel fuller for longer. Protein is also responsible for producing and regulating some hormones. So protein is pretty important as part of our diet. So in the first video in this series where I talk about my favorite healthy breakfast, I talk a little bit more about how much protein I choose to include in my daily diet now that I'm in my 40s to help maintain lean muscle, among other things. So definitely go back and watch that if you're interested in more information about that. But I do like to shoot for anywhere between 1.2 and 1.4 grams of protein per kilogram of my body weight every day. I walk a lot every day. I do resistance training usually 4 to 5 times a week. I do yoga. And I also just noticed that including plenty of protein in my diet just helps me to stay fuller and satiated for longer, and helps with appetite regulation. I also like to shoot for my protein to make up about 1/3 of my daily caloric intake so that it's also balanced with plenty of high fiber, low glycemic carbohydrates like fruits, vegetables, and whole grains, and some healthy fats too. And I also space my protein out throughout the day, so I'm not just getting it all at once. I like to shoot for getting anywhere between 20 and 25 grams of protein for breakfast, 20 and 25 grams of protein for lunch, and then 20 and 25 grams of protein for dinner, with a snack built in the afternoon, which usually includes at least a little bit of protein. And I also include plenty of fiber and healthy fats with my diet as well. Okay, so without further ado, here are some of my favorite protein-packed lunches that are quick and easy and help keep me full and satisfied throughout the afternoon. All right, this first one is like the easiest thing in the world. It is super simple, but I don't know, we just forget about it, and I guess forget maybe sometimes that it can be healthy, a healthy choice. But this is just a plain old turkey sandwich. I'll show you how I make mine. That makes it high in protein and also high in fiber, how I add a little bit of fat. And then I'm gonna show you, I do a little something special, but you certainly don't have to. So I'm gonna show you your options. So I always like to start with my favorite Ezekiel sprouted grain bread. You guys know that I love the English muffins from my breakfast video, and I do sometimes eat the English muffins at lunch as well, but I happen to have the regular bread on hand this week. So I'm gonna start with that. In 2 pieces, I've already shared with you guys sprouted grain breads like this, especially this Ezekiel brand. It's higher in protein, it's higher in fiber, it's just more nutrient dense than other bread choices. And it's even actually dense, like when you pick it up and feel it, it's more dense than regular bread, and that's why it stays with us longer, but it also has more nutrition. And it's easier on digestion because the grains are sprouted, that's why it's called sprouted grain bread, which means that it's higher in digestive enzymes to help your body be able to break down and assimilate the fiber and the nutrition. But this is really pretty much the only bread that I eat is this breaded grain bread. There's something else important that I wanted to tell you and I forgot it. It totally left my brain. I don't know. I usually try to eat it toasted. I don't really recommend eating it just out of the bag. It stays in the refrigerator, by the way, but I don't recommend eating it out of the bag if you're new to sprouted grain bread because you might be really turned off by the texture. So at the very least, toast your bread. I'm not gonna do that because of my special step at the end. So the next thing I'm gonna do is add a little bit of turkey. I always keep turkey on hand. If there's another lunch meat that you like, use that. I just highly suggest looking for one without any nitrates or nitrites. That's what I look for. I usually buy the Boar's Head brand at Kroger, but I don't have it. I have this. Okay, so I really love provolone cheese just because I like the flavor. And do you guys remember that's also the kind of cheese, the white cheese that they use at Subway? I don't know. I just liked Subway when I was a kid, and I'll even eat it every now and again now if it's the only choice. So adding just a slice of cheese, and then I'm gonna add just a little handful of baby spinach. Can't really add a lot because it makes your sandwich too fat and then the spinach all falls out, but I just usually add about a small handful. And then I'm gonna put my favorite sauce. This is completely optional. I also really love Dijon mustard. That's a great option for sandwiches in my opinion, but this is the Sir Kensington special sauce. Smear all that around. So special sauce, I don't know, it's like, oh, it's so good if you haven't tried it. It's kind of tangy. I'm gonna say that it tastes a little bit like Thousand Island dressing. Have you ever had that? I loved Thousand Island when I was a kid, so to me that's kind of what it tastes like. So, okay. So we put that lid on. And then your sandwich might be ready to go just like this if you need to pack it up and take it the next day or make it on the go. But here's what I'm gonna do. And I'm gonna turn the camera so you guys can see. I have a panini press and I'm a little bit obsessed with it. It doesn't take, this is a Breville. Let me see if I can show you guys a better view. And I have had this for years and I'm not kidding when I say it's one of my most used kitchen items. So I am gonna put this in my panini press for just about, I don't know, 3 or 4 minutes. And it makes the perfect panini. I'm so obsessed with it. So I'm just gonna let this go for about 3 or 4 minutes and then I'll bring you back and show you what it looks like. All right, I hear it. It is just sizzling. So, and pull it off. Ooh, I wish I had the camera about so I could show you guys all the melty cheese. Yum. Oh, I want all that. Huh. And cut it in half so it's all pretty. I'm gonna show you guys. I will be completely honest that this is something that I also do a lot for dinner. If I just do not have anything and there are no options, look at this. So high in protein. This is over 20 grams of protein. You got veggies from the spinach, and then I also like to serve it with a handful of baby carrots on the side. So much color on the plate. You could also add another little green salad with romaine if you wanted that. You could pack this up to go and take it, you know, for lunch if you needed lunch on the go. And great lunch or dinner option, loaded with protein, fiber from the veggies, and also the whole grain bread or the sprouted grain bread, and then a little fat from the cheese and the sauce. Balanced meal, and so super simple. So for this next one, I'm gonna show you how I make what I call a pressed tortilla, which is kind of, to me, another variation on basically a sandwich. It's kind of the same components, but just like different. The same but different, right? Okay, so the first thing I'm gonna start with is a whole wheat tortilla. I just picked these up at Kroger last time I was there. I saw them, they're Mission, they're whole wheat. They're, let's see, 4 grams of protein, 5 grams of fiber. I like my sort of bread, if you will, for the sandwich. And I've also got my skillet warming up. So I'm gonna go ahead and just spray it with a little bit of avocado oil spray, just to keep it from sticking. So what I'm gonna put on my pressed tortilla is about, this is like, I don't know, 1/4 a cup of shredded cheese. And I just used what we had in the fridge, which was this that Brennan has bought in bulk, apparently, along the way. But it was in there, so I'm using it. And cheese, you know, has fat, of course, but it also has a little bit of protein. I think there's like 6 grams in this serving. So I'm gonna
just spread that out just like on half of the tortilla, because I'm gonna fold it in half and then press it in the skillet. Then I'm gonna add some chopped veggies that remember I told you I always keep chopped veggies in my refrigerator. I do it on the weekends, and that way I've got it ready to go for like omelets or salads or scrambles. I think omelets and scrambles would be considered the same thing. Or things like this, you know, this pressed tortilla. So again, just putting everything on the half, and I always fill my tortilla up way too much, so I have no doubt I'm gonna do the same thing today, but it is what it is. We're just gonna work with it. And then I'm gonna add a little bit of chicken, and again, I always keep rotisserie chicken in the fridge. So I just shredded the chicken and put it on top. So now it's got everything. The cheese, the veggies, the chicken, and you can see that everything is just on half of it. I'm just going to fold it in half and very, very carefully slide it over onto the hot pan. You can make this a lot of different ways. I like to do it in a skillet like this, or you can also do it like on a griddle pan if you have something like that. You kind of have to put just a little bit of pressure on it at the beginning while the cheese is starting to stick. And I don't make mine super duper cheesy, so it maybe would not stick as much as if there was just a ton of cheese on it, but I try to be a little bit mindful about my portion size of cheese. So I'm just gonna press it, let it sit here for maybe like 3 or 4 minutes, and then I'm gonna flip it over and do the same on the other side. And we may lose some of the stuff out of the middle when we do the flip. I have a huge spatula, so if you have a huge spatula, that'll help. But when we do the flip, we may lose some stuff out of the middle. Just put it on your plate and eat it on the side. This has such a great amount of protein with the chicken and the cheese, and there's even a little bit, like I said, in the whole wheat tortilla, depending on which one you choose. So yeah, protein-packed meal. I'll do a little green salad on the side, so I'll show you when I've got it all plated and ready to go. Here we have it, the finished product. It's my little pressed tortilla, all cheesy and chickeny and vegetable-y and crispy on the outside, and a little green salad on the side. So this is definitely one of my favorite options when I can get home and make my lunch. But again, I like to have some of the stuff prepped and ready to go, which makes it go so much quicker. This took me about like 3 minutes each side just to get this wonderful crispiness. So yum. Okay, this lunch is one that I am just really, really loving right now. I love it for eating at home, but this is my favorite thing if I need to pack a lunch to go. So I'm gonna kind of show you how I do that ahead of time. But this is sort of my variation of a Cobb salad. See all the colors, I'll tell you what's in here. But this is my favorite to-go container. It's the perfect size, and I have no idea what brand it is. I don't even know. Lock and Lock, something like that. But it's got one of those little snap-on lids. So there's a lot of different ways to make a Cobb salad, but here's how I kind of have some things easy and on hand and ready to go so that I can just throw it all in here, and then I'll show you how I make my dressing as well. So I start with romaine lettuce, and you could use any green lettuce that you like, but I always keep, you know, just a box like this ready to go so I can just toss it in a container. And then I chopped up some cucumber is what's next, and then some cherry tomatoes, and you can use whatever veggies. Like if you love chopped onions or diced onions, put that in there. If I had some green onions, I probably would, but I didn't. So whatever you like. And then I used rotisserie chicken because remember I shared with you guys that I always keep a rotisserie chicken in my fridge. And so I just took a little bit of chicken breast off of that. And you don't have to add a lot because we're adding a lot of other protein to the salad as well. I think I did probably, this is like, it's probably a third a cup of chopped chicken, I'm just guessing. And you can also use turkey. I've done it before with turkey. So if I didn't have any rotisserie chicken left, I would just do like turkey lunch meat in the place of the chicken. So there's that. And then I added some feta cheese, which of course is ready to go. So that's next. And then I added 1 sliced boiled egg, and I always try to pick these up and keep these in the fridge because I love boiled eggs, but they're kind of, you know, just like time consuming and a pain sometimes to make. So I don't always make them, even if I have eggs in my fridge. So, but if I have those already boiled eggs on hand, then I will. So tons of protein here. This is totally guessing. I'm gonna guess that we've got about, I bet there's like 25 just in the chicken, probably about 4 or 5 in the feta, and then probably about like 6 or so in the eggs. So a lot. Plenty for my daily protein goal, because again, this is one of my meals. So there's the salad, and then I'm gonna show you how I whip up my salad dressing. Okay, so a typical Cobb salad would do like a Dijon and red wine vinegar, or you know, some people do like a creamy dressing. I'm not gonna do a creamy one because I wanna keep it a little bit lighter and just kind of focus on the flavor. I also don't like to add a lot of olive oil when I've already got so much other fat. You know, there's fat in the feta cheese, there's fat in the egg yolk. So I've got plenty of fat because I try to have a little bit of fat with every meal. So I don't really wanna add fat here. If you wanted to do an olive oil based dressing, you could. I'm just gonna keep mine to some vinegar and a little bit of Dijon mustard. This is a fridge staple. So I'm just gonna do like maybe, I don't know, half a tablespoon of the Dijon. And then I'm gonna do a tablespoon of, this is an elderberry lavender, it's apple cider vinegar based. And of course, everybody knows the health benefits of apple cider vinegar. It's so good for you. But this has also got a little bit of sweetener and it's got a little bit of sugar along with the lavender and elderberry flavor. So I ordered this online. I love this. If you want the details, let me know. I'll give them to you, but it's a small company in Georgia. But if you don't have something like this, just use a little apple cider vinegar, and then you could add either like honey or maple syrup if you wanted to add a little bit of sweetness to this. So I'm just gonna do about a tablespoon of that. And I'm mixing the dressing together in this little cup. I'm gonna whisk these two things together and then drizzle it over the salad. And here's another important tip. If you or like making your salad the night before, there's really nothing in here that would get soggy. I don't really think there's anything in here that would get soggy. I was just gonna say, if you are doing it the night before and there's anything in your salad you don't want to get soggy, you can always wait and put the dressing on like the morning of, or even carry it in a little container. But I'm gonna go ahead and put mine on. So I'm just whisking it up. This is my plastic travel fork. And just drizzle it over the top. I'm gonna try to show you guys. So this is just like a Dijon mustard and apple cider vinegar based dressing. And then I'm just gonna snap the top on and take it with me. If you have to take it, you know, you stick it in the refrigerator if you're going to an office or somewhere like that. If you don't, then just take a little refrigerated bag with you and make sure you don't turn it upside down. But then here's the big tip is to make sure that you have some sort of a little plastic fork or something with you. This is a reusable one that someone gave me a long time ago, and I just wash it and use it over and over again. But make sure you've got something to eat it with. You can also pick up plasticware at gas stations and whatnot if you're like on the road. So that is my Cobb salad. Super easy to put together, and it never like fails to amaze me how full this makes me. Oh, one more thing. I also like to have it with a few crackers on the side, and I'm really loving these Mary's Gone crackers right now. This is the original cracker, and I'll just probably have like maybe 5 or 6 of these just to get a little bit more fiber, because of course there's a ton of fiber in the vegetables, but this is gonna add a little bit more fiber, and it does add a little bit of fat also because there's seeds in this, but also, you know, I like carbs, so I like to have a little carbs with it as well. These are brown rice, quinoa, flax seeds, sesame seeds, tamari, and sea salt. So I'll have a few of these on the side, and I would pack them separately so that they don't get soggy. All right, this last one is what I like to call my deconstructed sushi bowl. And I really try to get salmon a couple of times a week, at least for either breakfast, or I'm sorry, not breakfast, lunch or dinner, because I think it's so healthy for you. There's so many beneficial omega-3 fats. So I'm gonna do, this is like, think of a sushi roll, but broken down or deconstructed, and mine is not raw. It's my leftover grilled salmon. I try to have my husband make a little bit of extra grilled or smoked salmon for me every weekend when he cooks, because then that way I can have it to eat on for the week. Got it all over my hands. So I'll usually grab like an extra salmon slab and have him throw that on the grill. So all it is a little bit of rice and the salmon, and then a green veggie, and then a yummy Asian sauce. Think like whatever you would want on your sushi. So normally I do frozen broccoli, and I just throw it in the skillet and let, you know, like broccoli florets, and I just throw it in the skillet and let it like kind of steam enough to where it's cooked. And I'll put that in the bowl. But today I actually have leftover green beans that I used, that I made for dinner last night. So I'm gonna use these instead. So just so you know, typically it's broccoli. You could also do, like if you wanted to do spinach, either raw, or you could saute it real quickly. I'm just like thinking of what would be like in a sushi bowl. I know there's not broccoli on a sushi roll, but stay with me, okay? We're we're doing a deconstructed sushi bowl. It's not exactly like a sushi roll, it's a sushi bowl, but it's not wrong. You know, you get what I'm saying. Okay, so we're gonna start with some green beans, and then I'm just gonna add on some rice. I usually use brown rice. Today I have this brown rice medley from Trader Joe's, and it's got a little bit of extra stuff. Brown rice, black barley, and daikon radish seeds. So it's really high in fiber and protein. It's 5 grams of fiber, 6 grams of protein for a serving. So I'm using this, but brown rice works also. So I'm gonna go ahead and put my bowl together, and then I'll show you what it looks like. All right, here we go. Let's see if I can show you. I may have to lift my camera up. So I've got the green beans and the salmon and the rice blend, and now I'm gonna top it with, see how it looks like a deconstructed sushi? Am I the only one who thinks that? That's like what I think about in my mind. Then you've gotta have a yummy Asian sauce. So you can totally use just like soy sauce or coconut aminos. I really love coconut aminos. In fact, I'm gonna use it in mine today because I love it so much. So this is from Trader Joe's. I like theirs best. Organic coconut aminos. It's kind of like a soy sauce, but to me it's a little bit sweeter. So I'm gonna use this because I really love it. And if you haven't tried their coconut aminos from Trader Joe's, I highly recommend it. Here we go. Drizzle it all over the top, just how I would eat sushi. And that's it. My deconstructed sushi bowl. And again, you can also make this one ahead of time and pack it with you. Just pack it in, you know, like a Tupperware container like this that has a lid. Don't flip it upside down in case it leaks. But yeah, totally easy to take on the go with you. Enjoy.
Okay, so I hope you found some of these protein-packed lunch ideas helpful. I'd love it if you'd let me know in the comments below which one you're most excited to try. Or if you have a protein-packed lunch that you love to make that's also super quick and easy, please leave it in the comments below because I know we would all benefit from hearing each other's ideas. Remember that this video is part of a series that I'm doing over the course of the next few weeks. So be sure and watch all of the videos about my favorite protein-packed breakfasts, lunches, and dinners, all of which will be linked in the description below. Thank you so much for choosing to spend some of your time with me here today. And I can't wait to see you again next week, same time, same place. Bye y'all.